Welcome to Subgenre Sickos, the podcast where we analyze movies from specific small genres that pop up for a few years and then fade away for the most part. We look at the signifying tropes, notable figures, what works, what doesn't work, and their enduring legacies. So join us, won't you, while we discuss the movies. Creeps, sickos, ghouls! Welcome to Subgenre Sickos, the podcast where we analyze movies from specific small genres that pop up for a few years and then fade away for the most part. We look at the signifying tropes, notable figures, what works, what doesn't work, and their enduring legacies, among other things. My name is Greg Orm, and with me, as always, is...
Steve Skinner. Thank you, Greg. Welcome. We are the Sickos. And we're glad you're joining us. And hope you're also a sicko.
Why don't we kick it off by talking a little bit about ourselves? Because no one can stop us, and also some people might not know who we are. Do you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure, yeah. My name's Steve Skinner. Just a movie fan. And I've known Greg about 16 or so, 16, 17 years. We met back in our college age days. I think I was a college boy, but Greg was smart and didn't go to college.
That's right. I sold printers.
To my dad, mainly.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
At
Office Max.
Yeah, I met him like 3 times before I met you.
That is strange.
I met him 3 times and rang him out, and I don't think I had ever heard him speak until I had known you for like 2 years.
Yeah, speaking not a strong suit.
Yeah.
I do that too at the store. I'm like, no time to talk, just here for business.
Yeah, I'd say credit or debit,
yeah.
And he would just type in a PIN. And so, I was like, all right, guess that answers that. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I currently live in Portland, but Greg and I met in Provo. And yeah, I think we just share a common love of film, and that's kind of what bonded us in the beginning. And I've kind of been a little over the place. Went to LA to go to grad school and to work in the film industry on the finance side of things, but had a job and it was difficult. And living in LA was also difficult, so moved up to Portland and have tried to keep up my film enthusiasm despite being away from the industry. And Greg and I just always love talking movies, so here we are. How about you, Greg? What's your story? What's your lore?
I was going to ask you, what got you into movies? And then we'll go into me.
That is a good question. I think I like just movies, just kind of how kids or anyone likes movies in the beginning, where you're just like, this is cool. There are pictures on the screen and it's fun. But maybe the shift into like more of a cinephile mindset was seeing Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay.
It was just that was kind of a big moment because it was pretty different from anything I'd seen, and I just enjoyed its originality and of course the music. But it's just like, movies don't have to like fit into like these certain little boxes. Like they can be something interesting and funny and like have a sensibility that connects. So that was kind of the beginning of the end. Because after that, I was like, who made this movie? It's like, the Coen brothers. Like, what else did they make? And so it like became a journey into from there. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good one because it's how you learn that something can be the Odyssey, but also not the Odyssey at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also how I learned what pomade is. So, yeah,
That makes
a
sense.
big learning experience all around for both of us, it sounds like. So
Hmm.
my name is Gregorm, as we established earlier when I said that. Uh, I have always been this person as long as I can remember. Like, literally, my first memories are from seeing, I don't know which of these was first, but my earliest memories are seeing Willow, Bambi, and Roger Rabbit in the theaters. And I know I saw Roger
Right
Rabbit a
on.
lot of times in the theaters because I have memories of sometimes being too scared to watch Judge Doom get run over and sometimes being brave enough to watch him get run over by
Hmm.
the steamroller. But I was also a little freak that could read really early. So, like, when I was 3, I would open up the newspaper and go straight to the movie section and ask whoever was closest if they would take me to, and I would just go down the list of the showings and say, "Will you take me to this?" And they would say no. And then I would say, "Well, what about this?" And they would say no. And then I would say, "Well, what about Child's Play?" And they would say no. And I'd say, "Well, that doesn't make sense. I am a child and I like to play." And that's what this movie appears to be about.
It's a movie for
Yeah.
children.
And they would say, "You're definitely not seeing Child's Play. Stop asking." And then they would take me to Roger Rabbit again. Uh,
I mean, not bad.
yeah. I really wanted to be the rabbit for a long time until they told me that that was physically impossible. And so then I just decided I really liked movies and watched them all the time. And then, yeah, I did stand up for a while, but that's not the same as movies. And so I stopped. I did that for about 12 years. Some of them were in New York. And then I
Nice.
met you, yeah, like 16 years ago. There was a house that I
Yeah.
didn't live in yet, but I was getting ready to move into that had a big fire pit in the back, I remember. And
Hmm.
I had just gotten back from a concert with some of the other people that lived there, and we were having a big bonfire. And you showed up, and you were wearing the Charlie from Always Sunny horse t shirt. And that
Yes.
led,
That was a fixture of my wardrobe back then.
and I have that shirt now, and it's a fixture of mine today. Uh,
It's a good
yeah,
shirt,
it's majestic.
of course.
And yeah, we started talking about Always Sunny, and then we just kept talking about movies to the point where everyone at the bonfire eventually moved around us to have a different conversation that they wanted to participate in while we kept talking about that. And yeah, that was kind of the whole night. And then we became friends pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're bringing that alienating conversation to all of you. So buckle up.
Let's record it,
Yeah.
man. Put it out to the world.
Yeah. So, what a nice time for all of us.
Yeah. It's been nice. It's yeah, we've had a lot of movie adventures. We're in Utah at the time we met, so going to Sundance or trying to go in the movies to Sundance with various degrees of success.
Getting
And
getting yelled at by
yeah,
strangers because the line setup was very confusing and everybody was facing weird directions, so it was hard to tell what the beginning and end were. Um, yeah, seeing Matthew McConaughey not understand how a microphone works, I remember that very well.
I remember that too.
Yeah, it took me a minute to get used to that he was wearing a shirt, but I got used to that
Hmm.
faster than he got used to how audio travels in a packed room. So that's something for me to be proud of.
Now he doesn't need to worry because he's got AI.
Yeah.
He loves his AI.
This was about a year before he revealed that his hero is himself from the future at the Oscars, which is a great speech. If you haven't seen him talk about his heroes during his Oscar speech, I recommend looking it up. Yeah, he's one of our best, one of our bravest Texas boys.
Very true. Well, as Greg mentioned in the intro, we're here to talk about subgenres, finding these little trends in Hollywood. It seems like
sometimes Hollywood
there's
adjacent.
something that
We should be, because
yes, or Hollywood adjacent.
this was not a Hollywood production. The film we are talking about today.
No, pretty far from Hollywood. But yeah, it seems like there are these times where there's kind of like one hit that's like maybe a little off of center or maybe a little different or it's like very particular and it kind of breaks through and then because Hollywood doesn't like to take risks, they just copy that. And so for a few years there'll be kind of a lot of these types of movies and then people get sick of them and then they fade away. It's kind of the ebbs and flows.
Well, this series is a little bit different because
this is different.
Because this is more of, this movie came out and I mean it didn't make a lot of money, but people made it for almost no money, and other people saw it and said, "Oh wow, I didn't know you could just do that." And so a lot of people started, and now some of them are our most lauded directors of today. And some
it's
never really got out of this scene, and we'll talk about them too. Legally, we have to.
And we do, and it's like it's almost like more of like I don't know, like a movement or something than a genre, like you said. Yeah, because this is what we're talking about is the genre mumblecore, which is a very independent DIY genre, and it's kind of came to fruition kind of with the advent of a lot more digital camera technology, so it became increasingly less expensive to make movies, and so people took full advantage of that and got their friends together and shot movies of them hanging out and talking in their apartments. That's kind of what I think of when I think of mumblecore. It's like, okay, you got people in their mid-20s just kind of hanging out talking.
And they don't have refined dialogue. You'll have even more ums and wells and likes than even this podcast you're listening to now.
Yeah.
We're kind of a mumblecore podcast because we're very DIY. And I'm probably going to leave all that stuff in just because it's easier.
Right, yeah. That's how we'll try to make the podcast a part of the genre we're talking about. So this is a mumblecore podcast. It's all improvised. There's maybe a naked lady in it that kind of seems to pop up in these mumblecore movies.
Yeah, maybe she's playing a trombone in the bathtub inexplicably. Who knows? It's going to be an adventure, and we're happy that you're here to join us. And yeah, what a treat for us and for America and the culture at large.
For sure. And of course, we start off with the hottest subgenre there is, mumblecore.
Yeah.
But like you said, like a lot of people have come from this genre. The Duplass brothers, Greta Gerwig, the Safdie brothers.
Barry Jenkins, director of Mufasa.
Barry Jenkins. Rachel Bronstein, director of If I Had Legs, I'd Kick
Mary
You.
Bronstein.
Mary, not Rachel.
Yeah.
I'll just call people Rachel. I don't know their name.
It's a good strategy. And even if they get mad, your wife is happy because you remember her name. And you...
Exactly. Maybe I was thinking of Rachel Brosnahan.
That too. But we'll say you're thinking of your wife, so that way she'll go, "Oh, you remembered." Yes. We've only lived together for, 15 years? It's good.
Only 15 years?
It's good that you remember my name.
Yeah, yes. The late Lynn Shelton was a mumblecore director.
That's true. R.I.P. She was a good one.
Yeah, we'll be, and so all these people, we're going to be talking about the movies throughout this series, and it's just it's always exciting to kind of see where people came from, kind of the kind of grassroots era. I don't know, you can see like those little inklings of talents or sensibilities and things like that, and so it's kind of cool to track that over the progression of their careers. So that's, I think, what's going to be especially interesting, because we're starting the series with an Andrew Bujalski movie, and we're ending it with an Andrew Bujalski
Yeah,
movie. So it's we get kind of
he
these
kind of
bookends.
started and ended the movement. Now, if you haven't heard of any of these movies, you might want to move under a smaller rock because these movies made almost thousands of dollars, so they were popular.
They played. I feel like when I think of it, it's like these are like film festival movies. This is kind of like the indie movement of the aughts.
Yeah,
Like
I
people, yeah, like able to make stuff for cheap, make it interesting enough to keep people's attention, and then yeah, go from there.
so I am curious how you learned about mumblecore, because I will just say up front, I learned about it from you. We were
Oh,
I mean I watched everything I could get my hands on, but somehow these had just eluded me. And we were at your house making a dinner, like we used to have dinner parties. And
hmm.
we were talking about someone named Greta Gerwig, who I had never heard of before, and surely would never hear about again.
No,
Yeah.
no one's heard from
And
her
I said,
since.
"Who is that?" And you kind of explained it to me, and then eventually I rented the puffy chair and thought, I kinda like this. This is different from Seven, which I had watched a lot of times.
Very different
Yeah.
than Seven, but it was, yeah, almost accidentally discovering mumblecore. One of my pastimes living in Provo was going to the neighboring city, the Orem Public Library, because they had an amazing film section. And so a lot of times I would just go to whatever their new drama releases were and just like pick stuff that looked interesting. Like I literally picked Train Spotting up there and had no idea what
Oh,
it was
really?
about. I'm like, oh, looking here's some cool looking guys on this cover, and then I watched and was like, oh my gosh, was not expecting. Which I mean, I love Train Spotting, but it was just not at all. I just had no idea it was going to be this
Oh,
heroin
I
movie.
was I was amply prepped for
So
that one. I watched that right out of high school, but I had learned what
yeah.
it was about because I used to do competitive drama in high school, and there was like two guys from another school, and their serious piece was a scene from Train Spotting that they had to edit all of the swearing out of, and it still made a lot of people
Tough.
mad because that's not really like a share this with the adults you know at high school type of movie. But yeah, they
Yeah.
got right into the darkness, and I bookmarked it in my brain. I was like, that sounds like something I am probably going to enjoy because I like things that are edgy, because I am a little boy. And
Nothing is edgier than heroin
and
addiction.
sure enough, I mean, I loved it, but that baby scene traumatized me so much.
Oh gosh.
But it did introduce me to many of bands that I still listen to today. And I mean literally today. I listen to bands from Trainspotting soundtrack.
I mean,
Yeah.
legendary soundtrack. But yeah, so I think I picked up like, is it called The Savages with Laura Linney and Philip Seymour Hoffman as brother and
Yeah, my cat
sister?
likes that movie.
Yeah. So there's because I think that was released by IFC, and so there was a trailer for Hannah Takes the Stairs on that DVD, and or maybe it was a different movie, but I just remember seeing renting a movie from the library because I think being in the early 20s, it's like right looking for that indie stuff, kind of like, oh, like this stuff is different, it's
I can
exciting,
talk about this at parties and
it's
everyone will think I'm smart.
exactly, yes. And so I just remember seeing, yeah, the trailer for Hannah Take the Stairs, just kind of seeing like, just kind of being like, oh, like kind of putting a pin in like like you did with Trainspotting, like what is that? Like that seems just like, I don't know, so different, and I kind of liked how it was like, yeah, kind of the DIY aesthetic. Uh, and yeah, I ended up renting it and watching it, and just yeah, like being really like compelled by Greta Gerwig in it because it's kind of her movie. She's the Hannah that takes the stairs, uh, and just being like, okay, like maybe like yeah, like dialogue's a little weird, and since it's shot in digital, like doesn't look great, and had its quirks or whatever, but just really just remember just like, oh, I'm like there's something about Greta that is compelling. And I even after watching the movie, like this was still in the early days of Facebook before everyone's parents were on it, so it was like still, I mean, there's still when it was relatively cool.
Yeah.
But but I added her as a friend because at the time I was just like, oh, like I'm trying to connect with people I don't know, so like, and Greta Gerwig was just an actress, like trying, like a working actress, like trying to like with no pretensions of any grand, I maybe pretensions of grand, but didn't act like a movie star or anything. She was like far
She
from
had
Hollywood
yet to
still,
make
and
Arthur with Russell Brand.
that was her breakout.
Well,
Yeah, after
a movie we still talk about to this day, lovingly.
Yes. But yeah, after that, I just remember seeing like a few things. I remember seeing a trailer for Baghead and seeing that she was in it, so that was compelling. And then it's like, oh, like the Duplass brothers, like, and that kind of name stuck in my head. And then, yeah, I don't know if I saw like any of the other stuff early on. I remember like seeing Cyrus and being excited for Cyrus to come out because it's like, oh, like here's kind of these indie guys who got like real Hollywood actors to be in their movie, and like that's exciting.
That was a Sundance movie,
yeah,
and I think we had considered trying to get into that, like together.
Probably, yeah. Because I think we're just like John C. Reilly, okay.
The Step Brothers, man, we like him.
Yeah. So so I think because I guess, yeah, part of the filmmaking journey is like my friends and I in middle school and high school would like make short films together. We had a friend who did web design, so we built us a website and we put the films there. It's like we're trying to like have these creative outlets and stuff. And so I think we're always drawn to like, at least I was drawn to these kind of like DIY filmmakers. Like big movies for my friends and I are like the Evil Dead movies.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
just like, oh yeah, like a bunch of guys going out in the woods with their friends and making a movie, and that's kind of what we did. Or even like the early Kevin Smith movies like Clerks. It's like, oh, he's just like hanging out with his friends and talking. Like, okay, like we can maybe do something like that. So I think kind of in that same vein, it's like, oh, like these are just kind of normal people just filming stuff and improvising. Like that seems interesting. I mean, by that time we weren't really doing that anymore, which was unfortunate. But just I was still drawn to that kind of creative outlet.
Did you read the Bruce Campbell memoir where he goes into the making of Evil Dead in great detail? And if so, were you then very inspired to go into the woods and make something?
Yeah. Very much so. Yes, if
I read.
And we have to acknowledge support for Bruce, who just announced his cancer diagnosis.
We love Bruce here, and we wish him the best, and we wish him the best of treatment that is available. But yeah, I read that book over summer vacation while I was at my dad's house in Wisconsin, and I remember coming back to the job that I worked at 2 days a week with my very good friend, and just coming into work and going, we're getting a camera and we're going to the woods. Get ready.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do that at all. But boy, did I want to.
It's fun going into the woods with the camera. I guess it can also end in the Blair Witch Project. But it can also a success though. So it's worth getting killed by the Blair Witch to make movie history.
I was pretty fascinated by Blair Witch at that time as well. So I would have been happy to be reduced to a bag of teeth in the woods at that time.
But this isn't the found footage subgenre. Where Blair Witch will be, we'll get to the Blair Witch, but today
we're talking about
We're talking
Yeah,
funny,
the
haha.
2002 film by Andrew Bujalski that kicked off the mumblecore movement. And
A term he is reticent to say. I watched an interview with him on the Blu-ray, and it literally like he just wouldn't say the term mumblecore.
yeah,
And it was just so funny. It's like it's not like I guess maybe people used it as a pejorative at a certain point where it's like, oh, like all these festival movies are just like these idiots with cameras thinking they can make something.
yeah, I think it's a nice term because maybe it's just because I found the movement inspiring because I thought, well, if I had slightly more charismatic friends, we might be able to do something like this.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
more
all on
charismatic.
you.
Sorry, but yeah, talking about it's like reminds me of my favorite music genre that everyone hates, new metal, and how so many new metal bands just do not want to be called new metal. They're just like, we just let us distance ourselves as much from that. And it's like,
No,
okay, it's like, but it's what you are. Just accept it. And it's like this. It is just mumblecore.
you must
and,
live
like,
in the mess you
I
created.
think that just
We're not. Yeah.
exactly.
That's like a dentist being like, I like to avoid the term dentist. I work tooth adjacent. I'm really a doctor, if you think about it.
Yeah.
No, you made mumblecore movies, and they're good, and don't feel weird about it.
Yeah, just own it. And I could see maybe viewing it like animation almost, where it's like, well, maybe mumblecore is more of like a medium than a genre. But then I don't think about all the mumblecore movies I've seen. It's like, well, a lot of them are just so similar in kind of vibes and plot points and things. Because even, yeah, watching Funny Haha, it was reminding me a lot of Hannah Takes the Stairs. Then I found out, like, oh, Andrew Bujalski helped write Hannah Takes the Stairs and was in Hannah Takes the Stairs. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's why the stories seem almost the exact
Well,
same.
Yeah, because these people that were making all these movies found each other, and they started making movies
Yeah.
together. And so, yeah, it was a movement, and the name of it is mumblecore, and that's not something to feel weird about.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, in the interview, like he was talking about, he made this movie, and then I think yeah, in 2005, he was at some film festival, and Puffy Chair from the Duplass brothers was there, and Joe Swanberg had his thing there, and it's like, oh, like okay, 2005 seems like this is like when it took off. This is like this is now a thing. It's not just a one-off. This is a
It's
movement
not just
now.
some Harvard people getting together to make a movie with the founder of OkCupid, who hadn't yet founded it, but was about to.
He was too busy rocking out in the rock group Bishop
Yeah.
Allen.
Yeah, so the male lead of this film is... Oh man, I'm blanking on his last name. This is great podcast.
The best. It's
Yeah, okay.
Rudder.
Christian Rudder, founder of OkCupid. He plays Alex, who's kind of the male lead of this film, even though it's really more a woman's story. He's there, and he's kind of a...
Yeah.
Every man in this movie, basically, besides a barista, is kind of a creep and or asshole.
Which kind of seems like another kind of mumblecore trend. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, like a lot of the guys in these movies kind of suck
Yeah.
real bad. They're just,
They're
yeah, and they're all sucky in their own ways. It's like, there's not like they're not all the same sensibility
Yeah.
of terrible. We got different shades here. But yeah, we got Marnie, and she's just trying to live her life. She's just kind of, she says she's like wandering the
she's
earth.
trying to cut back on drinking.
You know. Yeah, because every time she drinks, bad things happen. Is how this movie starts.
Yeah.
She's drunk and trying to get a tattoo, and the tattoo artist is like, "Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea."
So him and the barista, the only benevolent male characters in this movie. And the barista doesn't even do anything good. He just has, I think, the funniest line in the movie. Yeah.
He's very funny. That is a good line. But yeah, I mean, she's just, I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, people mid-20s, postgraduate, lull, like living in a malaise, trying to find direction, and this is kind of capturing it. And like Marnie's just kind of drinking and hanging out with friends, and kind of like the big thing that happened, like her and Alex, I guess, have known each other since school, and a few years prior to this movie, she drunkenly like admitted strong feelings towards Alex, and he did not receive them well. It became weird. But they were able to remain friends, and Alex has been dating someone for a little while. It seems when this movie starts, but they have a rapport. They kind of have a back and forth, but it is almost just like, is Alex like toying with her? Because it's like, oh, it's like there seems like there is something there, but like he's never like wanting to go further than like those next steps, maybe as much as Marnie would.
Yeah, it almost feels as if he's stringing her along just in case something happens with his relationship,
Right.
which is not a fun position to be in if you are the stringy.
No.
Yeah.
No. And this is like almost like a friend zone inception, because Marnie is getting friend zoned,
Yeah.
but then she ends up friend zoning another character in the movie, Mitchell, who might be the worst man. In the movie.
Certainly the most maladjusted and weirdly malevolent. Like, he's not evil, but there are things that he does that make you unsure if he is okay or safe to be around.
It has the sense of like, yeah, like this guy could snap at
Yeah.
any moment. Like, he seems nice enough when things are going well, but any little bump in the road could just like turn this guy
Yeah.
into like Ed Gein or something.
Yeah.
Or Gein.
A lot of Letterboxd reviews refer to him as a proto-incel, which is about right.
Listen, they're not wrong. And of course, the director of the movie plays the character Mitchell, which
Yeah.
is funny. It's just like hard to cast a creep.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got to do it myself. Which, it's, watching the director in the interview, like, he seemed like a normal, nice person.
Yeah, he
So
makes
that's,
good movies. I am a fan of his work.
Yeah, he seems solid. But yeah, Marnie, she's played by Kate Dolenmeyer, which I don't know if she has many more.
She literally
roles
has
than funny.
a
haha.
small role in his next movie, and then she got offered the script for an Apatow movie, which I think was probably the 40-year-old
Yeah.
virgin, just based on timeline, but we don't know. And she didn't
Mm-hmm.
like it, and then didn't act again, and is instead a film archivist now, which I think is a pretty cool job.
Yeah, it seems like she did all right. But I guess, yeah, she was like roommates with the director. And I think the Bishop Allen guys were also roommates with the director. They're all just roommates
Yeah.
going to Harvard. But she's really compelling in this movie. Like you said, she plays drunk pretty well. And she's just like,
Yeah, I was immediately
It is-
struck
yeah,
by
like-
how well she was playing drunk, because it didn't feel, she wasn't stumbling around and slurring every word, but it did remind me of talking to a drunk person or talking to a person while I myself was drunk. Like, is this
Yeah,
person
she-
completely paying attention or following the conversation? They seem coherent, but it's hard to tell.
yeah. And again, like, part of Mumblecore is just trying to capture real life, trying to be naturalistic. And I think she does a really good job at that. She's just, again, like, in the interview, the director's just like, oh, like, I was roommates with Kate, and she was just this really charismatic person, and I wanted to put her in a movie, so he put her in Funny Haha. And it's like, yeah, there is something compelling about her. And
She feels...
yeah, I guess
She
struck-
reminds me of a less... I mean, aggressive isn't maybe the right word, but a less aggressive Greta Gerwig. Because Greta Gerwig is, I guess, strong-willed. 'Cause
she's like a little bit more
yeah,
meek.
'cause Greta... Aggressive is not the right word, but strong-willed probably is. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so Marnie's just kind of, floating through life, meeting friends. Doesn't have a job really. I think, like early on she's talking with Alex about trying to find a job, and Alex is wearing a really cool shirt with Garfield and Odie in like urban wear. Alex has good shirts. That is something we can compliment him on. The man knows his way around
Most
his
of
shirt.
the characters in this movie, I would argue, have great shirts. In fact, one of the reasons we
It's
know
true,
Mitchell
yeah.
sucks is he doesn't.
He just wears
Yeah,
button
and
downs.
a really mid-90s tie in The Office.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, a lot of these movies are pretty light on plot. It's more just like this is kind of like plopping into someone's
Yeah.
life for like a short amount of time. And it's like maybe they've changed a bit by the end. Maybe it's the same, but it's it's not the strongest of character arcs. Though I do think Marnie does have like a little arc, and things are looking a bit better for her towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, she gains a little bit of self-respect,
yeah, overall,
I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like a whole lot of action. It's just like Marty goes to her job and does this, and then hangs out with people, and
Then
you know,
has
like
the
it's
most awkward
it's
dinner.
not propulsive.
The most awkward dinner of all time with Mitchell. And then he comes to her house after they play basketball poorly. And he gets real weird.
It's
Yeah.
very weird, but yeah, she meets Mitchell at a temp job. Like he's working at the office she's going to temp at, and this I have worked as a temp, and this just kind of reminded me of that, where like she walks in like, I'm here for the job, and he's just like on the phone and can't even talk to her because he's so busy. And he's like, go back there, like someone's gonna help you out at some point. Like, and so many times like when I'd go into a temp job, I'd get there and they'd be like, all right, like everyone's real busy, so we're gonna talk to you and try and train you in about 20 minutes, and then good luck. It's like, all right, kind of throw him to the wolves.
It really does capture the first day at a new job feeling, where when you show up
Yeah.
like while things are in progress and no one's quite sure what to do with you at first because the person that's supposed to train you is also busy. Yeah,
Exactly.
I felt like it captured that very,
Yeah, and
very
it's-
well.
Yeah, or it's like, you hired me. It's like, you didn't plan for this. Like, you knew I was
Yeah.
coming in. It's just like, well, business. We got to do business. But yeah, she ends up having to hang out with Mitchell more because her dumb friends are just dumb. Like, she meets up with some friends, and they end up meeting up, and Alex's sister is there, Susan, who is the worst.
She's the Mitchell of women.
And she's the yes, she's the worst because her first scene she walks in and she's like talking about her boyfriend she just dumped, and she's like, Don Juan wasn't the right fit, if you know what I mean, and then like makes a gesture with her finger, and it's like she's just like penis shaming her ex-boyfriend. And then she wears a shirt made out, or a dress made out of a bandana print later, and it is terrible. And she's terrible, but basically she's saying like, hey, Alex broke up with his girlfriend, like now's your chance to like make a move, basically. And she, like we mentioned before, she had confessed her love previously and it had not gone well, and it doesn't go well
goes
again.
really poorly.
It gets weird. Well, yeah. And then like there's like a weird kind of phone tag circle where it's like Alex calls Marnie and then Marnie calls Susan, but like Alex and Susan are like together, and just like all the information is getting divulged, and it's just very
Here's
uncomfortable.
an idea of how poorly things go. She has to hang out with Mitchell. That's how poorly it goes.
It's really bad, yeah. She's got to hang out with Mitchell, but
Yeah.
yeah, she ends up at like another party after this with someone we meet previously, Wyatt, who my first note of Wyatt is worthless, because he's like trying to like talk to someone on the phone but just can't. And yeah, Marnie and Mitchell start talking, and she's drinking at this party and starts kissing Wyatt, and he doesn't like it. And maybe Wyatt is okay because maybe he's like, oh, I don't want to take advantage of a drunk woman, but he sucks, so he doesn't get like a full pass. But he doesn't, he gets like a C.
Yeah, I mean, that's a passing grade, but there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just Marty's just trying to find connection and not, getting drunk and looking in the wrong places. I mean, she does like some of her friends seem cool, but then like they turn like because she's friends with this couple, Rachel and Dave, and Rachel has like there is a
Yeah.
Rachel in the movie. Not just that is an actual name. I'm not just referencing my wife again. She has a line that says hummus doesn't really solve that many
Yeah.
problems, Dave, and I thought that was funny because like Marnie is just like distraught, and Dave's like, you want some hummus, and
Yeah.
hummus doesn't really solve that many problems, Dave. But then later, Dave makes a move on Marnie, and it's really
Yeah.
weird. And you're just like, God, Dave, what is your
He
problem?
is also holding a cigarette backwards while he is drinking, which, as a former cigarette man, is always a dangerous game that I have lost more than once.
Unfiltered.
I spent the whole time in that scene going, is he going to light the filter? Is he going to light the filter? Because that smells terrible. I know that it smells bad. Is he going to light the filter? And he doesn't. That we see.
No. No. But I think, yeah, it's after that point, it's kind of Marnie's bottom.
Yeah.
And so she makes a list of things she wants to, like, accomplish. Well, she does have, yeah, another conversation on the phone with Susan, where I think she kind of just tells Susan to screw off,
I'm going to go hang out with
which is
Mitchell.
deserved. I mean, I know, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, so she makes a list, like, she wants to be, she leaves, ends up leaving the temp job and, like, getting a job with Alex's uncle.
Yeah, who seems
Um,
all right, to be fair.
Who seems alright, but then like, yeah, I mean, just every interaction though she has with Mitchell is just like weird. Because even like as she's like leaving the job, he has a conversation. He keeps asking like if she has like bringing up like, oh, like you probably have like a boyfriend or whatever, just like being real weird about it. And at first says she does have a boyfriend, and then like later on she says she doesn't, and then like, of course Mitchell just makes it weird, just gets really
Yeah.
weird about everything.
Well,
But yeah, she's trying.
when she
to,
tells him she has a boyfriend, it is in that weird spot where Alex is kind of leading her on, but the more
Yeah.
promising peak of that, I guess. So, yeah. And also,
yeah,
if
so,
you
like-
were talking to Mitchell
Oh,
and
go
he
ahead.
asked you if you had a boyfriend, you'd say yes too.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say yes. I have
Yeah.
a boyfriend.
Because
That's-
every conversation Mitchell has with another human being feels like his first conversation with a human being, and he's not doing well.
Yeah. No. And yeah, like again, the order, yeah, is kind of eluding me, but I don't like. Alex kind of disappears for a little bit, and then like
He's off founding OK Cupid.
he's off, and well, he's getting married to the girl who we thought he was broken up with.
Oh yeah, he's
Nina.
in Maine. They go to Maine and elope
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah. And that's yeah, and so Marnie's trying to get her life together. She makes a list. She wants to become friends with her new boss. She wants to be more active. She learned to play chess? Question mark was one that stuck out on her list. And so because all of her friends
Stop drinking for a month.
She's-
That was also on the list.
stop drinking for a month.
Yeah.
That's the top of the list because yeah, as mentioned, every time she drinks, bad things happen. And that's what she has to do with Mitchell. All of her friends are terrible, and it's all weird.
Yeah.
So,
Da-
and then Mitchell's just bad. Like it just always ends up bad.
yeah, they're playing chess, and that seems like it's going all right, but then the conversation takes a weird turn, and she gives him all of her beer, and then he is really weird about it. While she's trying to use the bathroom, he keeps knocking on the door to ask her questions. And she says, well, can this wait till
Yeah,
I'm out of the bathroom? And he says, sure. And then he asks another question.
Yeah, and the bathroom door has a window, so she has to like put like a cloth over it to block it through. I think that's part of I don't know the charm of these movies. It's like, oh yeah, they're just like filmed in shitty apartments that like people who just graduated would live in. Like it feels again like I think it's going for like a realism and a naturalism. And when you have crappy apartments with bathroom doors with windows, that's it adds to the verisimilitude. And Mitchell just gets so weird because I think there's like the scene when they're on like her balcony at her apartment or whatever, and he's like trying, like she's sad, and he's like trying to like make her be happy, and it just it's really weird.
It's like he doesn't understand happiness himself, but he's trying to force happiness on another person while he is drinking the beers that she gave him. And again, every conversation feels like his first.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he just like walks up to the edge of the balcony and throws the mostly full beer bottle off of it into like the courtyard.
It's very jarring.
Yeah.
And Marnie's just like, what are you doing? Like, freaking psycho.
Yeah.
It's just psychotic behavior.
And then his answer for why he did it is, I don't know. He doesn't really have an explanation for why he did it, but he does offer to clean it up. After she tells him that someone could get hurt. And gets really mad. Yeah. And it begs the question, does Mitchell do this a lot? Does he live amongst broken glass?
Yeah, has Mitchell had many personal interactions in his life? Probably not. Was he raised in a box?
He doesn't he say at one point that like he spent the weekend doing drugs with his friends or something?
Yeah, it talks about coming back to like drug case from the weekend or something, and it's just like you huff and paint, or like what are you doing?
I think he's got cat piss in a paper bag and he's huffing it, and then his friends or whoever else is on the hentai for him, because I cannot imagine what that friend group would actually be like if it existed.
Mitchell got very into 4chan after this movie.
Mitchell is Q.
He could very well be Q. He has that energy, but
he actually
he scrams, man. He gets she gets done with him, I think, in a good move. She's just like not gonna deal with Mitchell anymore.
Yeah, he's bad. I don't know if you watched the QAnon documentary on HBO from like 5 years ago, where they revealed who Q was, basically. And he's just like this rich nerd who lives in Thailand and owns 8chan. Very similar vibe, I would say.
Yes.
Like,
just you're bad. Mitchell's
your,
bad.
Your skin crawls every time they say a sentence.
It is true. But yeah, so it's Marnie's hanging out with Alex every now and then, like kind of reconnecting. Like Alex shows up at her because it's like her 24th birthday happens, and she goes out for coffee with her boss, and her boss is saying like, "Oh, I like to go to this coffee shop, but my husband feels uncomfortable because there's like the cute coffee guy who like flirts with all the customers," and he has your favorite line.
He says, "Let me pull it up because I definitely wrote it down." He wrote, I'm thinking about entering the NBA draft actually." And he's like my height, like 5'8".
Yeah. So it's a short white guy from Boston.
Yeah, and he also looks too old to join the NBA draft.
Yeah.
My other favorite...
He's got bits.
My other favorite line is a Dave line, and it has a slur in it. It's when they run into...
Oh, yeah, I wrote that down.
And they're at the grocery store, and he's like, "Yeah, Rachel's going to teach me about eggplant, how to remove the bitterness. I'm kind of eggplant R-word."
Yeah, I wrote that down.
I thought it was funny. That's the closest Dave comes to redeeming himself, and he still uses a slur. So...
Yes. 2002, a different time, especially in Boston.
Oh, they also, at a party earlier, I wrote down this scene, they go outside and their friend Liz is like hammered and asleep in a car, and it sure seems like she stole that car. Because it does not belong to her. That much is clear. And she is asleep in the driver's seat, and her and I can't remember who she's with. Both kind of go, "Well, this seems bad. Why don't you come in the house and sleep this off? Because you should not be behind a wheel even if you are asleep." Or especially
Or,
if
like,
you are asleep at this point.
drunk and still in cars.
Yeah.
But I don't know, another kind of fun moment is Alex and Marty are like leaving his apartment, and uh, Alex's roommate Jed comes home and he like is all dirty and like all beat up, and he shares the story about like how he was like beat up by kids. Like he just went like called the Cheeks, like was like the leader of these kids that beat him up, and they're just like, it's just a very funny. I thought it was funny.
It should be noted that Jed is the other guy from Bishop Allen, a band primarily made up of just those two guys.
Yeah.
So that's
whose song plays. That's how I didn't even realize they were in it. I heard the song play, and I'm like, oh, that's Bishop Allen. And then you texted me. It's like the Bishop Allen guys are like in this movie. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because they just played a Bishop Allen song.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are declaring them the official band of Mumblecore, and it actually doesn't matter if they come back again. They're just official. They were there from the beginning. It's theirs.
They were there, man. They helped start the scene, and
I also can't think of a better example. So.
Yeah, probably. Greta Gerwig playing the trumpet in a tub naked.
Yeah.
I guess that's the other band.
Yeah, but that was just an EP. She didn't cut a full album.
It's true. It's no charm school.
No.
But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Bishop Allen since watching this. Like, they got bops. I like them.
That's right. I like these guys.
They're good. But yeah, I guess ultimately Alex like shows up to Marnie's apartment like the night of her birthday, which is like a nice move, but then he's just doing the weird string along things. Like he's just kind of like non-committal, like just like gets weird about it, or maybe just gets too much in his head about it. I don't know, like because he makes the gesture and then it's almost just like he's second guessing himself and just acts weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the acts weird could describe basically every interaction in this movie.
It's weird people during weird times in their lives.
Besides,
but I don't. Yeah, kind of like.
Besides the rizzed up barista, that guy's got it figured out.
He's got swag.
Yeah. He knows who he is and he knows where he's going.
Yeah. He's got good bits, like we said.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna be the next LeBron. Oh, but I think, this predates.
Yeah, ultimately,
this predates LeBron. He's going. That man is LeBron James.
It's LeBron. LeBron James made his acting debut in this movie as the barista.
Yeah. In whiteface.
Yeah, a bold move. This is even before White Chicks, so not even, before that was in vogue.
But post 9/11, we should be clear. This came out in the shadow of 9/11. You can tell they were thinking about it at all times. They never directly reference it, but
it's a strong subtext.
They are never forgetting this whole movie.
They don't forget. Which, yeah, another, I guess, fun thought I had about the movie. It's set in Boston, and I think all these people went to Harvard, but unlike every other Boston movie or Boston person, it doesn't always bring up Boston and how good it is.
Yeah.
It is very anonymous in its Bostonness, which is appreciative.
Not a single person pox the caw at Harvard Yard. Not a single one of them.
Yeah, no accents. No mention of Larry Bird or the 86 Celtics,
Yeah, and there really is just the one slur, and it's self-deprecating about his eggplant knowledge, which is shocking for a Boston-based film.
It is true.
It's actually impressive.
But it's quite impressive. But yeah, I think eventually like Alex and Marnie are like kind of able to reconnect, and maybe Marnie becomes more okay like being friends. Like maybe she doesn't need that like external validation because she's like stopped drinking and become friends with her boss, and
she tried chess,
trying to find some direction. She did try chess, but had a terrible partner in Mitchell.
Yeah. But he said she could beat him if they played 5 more times.
Yeah.
I bet it would have been once because he even said he sucked at chess.
Yeah. He's bad at basketball, and he compares his basketball skills to his chess skills in an unfavorable way.
I did make a note that these people are worse at basketball than I am, and that is saying something.
I'm also pretty bad at basketball. Yeah. For one of the short movies we made, it's like there's scenes of me like shooting hoops, and I like miss every single one. It's like the opposite of that Finding Forrester scene. I'm just bricking layups left and right.
Is it like
yeah, Alex and Marnie bond over making fun of people playing frisbee, which is relatable.
Yeah, that was very relatable because I feel like I have also commonly made fun of people playing frisbee at the park.
It could be fun to play frisbee, but there are those frisbee players that are a little too into it.
It's more fun to make fun of the people playing frisbee in my experience, but that just could be my own athleticism coming into play.
I'm just bad at throwing the frisbee.
I am good at...
I make fun because I can't do.
I am really good at the making fun of the frisbee players part. That is... I've got that on lockdown. I am fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Top
Especially
notch.
If they're wearing a dumb hat.
Yeah. I mean, these guys look like dorks, so it's...
And these people often are wearing dumb hats, so it's...
Yes.
In basketball terms, it's like layup city.
Unless you're me, and I'm missing all the layups.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the movie just kind of ends, and it's just like, okay, like, things seem to kind of just be okay, and at least she has a job now, and maybe something else will happen, but at the very least, she's not hanging out with Mitchell anymore, so that's a net positive.
Yeah. If there is no other lesson to be learned from this, it's that Mitchell sucks. We don't like him.
That's the main takeaway. It's like Mitchell's bad, which is funny reading. You sent me some IMDb reviews, and it's like people are also mentioning that Mitchell is bad, but being mad at the movie because of that and giving it a bad score. And it's like, well, that's kind of I think he's supposed to be bad. Like, I guess, I mean, you're not like...
This isn't a movie full...
You don't have to like him to like the movie.
This isn't a movie full of people going like, have you met Mitchell? Coolest guy in town. Yeah.
He's like awesome and smart and everyone likes him.
Mitchell called me a bitch, and honestly, that was the high point of my life. It's all downhill from here.
It's true.
And then he threw a beer bottle at my face. And I'm keeping the shards of glass in there forever. To remember.
Just to remind myself not to talk to Mitchell ever again.
I am never forgetting 9/11, and I am never going to forget that Mitchell threw a beer bottle at my face.
Just the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, the end credits are handwritten, which is very charming, and
just like on a piece of paper. It's the most DIY credits I've ever seen, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, like I think like starting off this genre and like kind of what I expect mumblecore to be. It's like, oh yeah, this kind of seems I can see like its influence throughout the other movies.
Yeah.
Though this is interesting because it was shot on 16mm film and not on digital. But I mean, I thought it looked great. Like I thought it was shot really well. It's fun. Like more comments on IMDb or reviews, they're saying like this looks like crap. This was shot so bad. And
it is better lit than many Hollywood movies of today.
Yeah,
First of all, you can see the actors' faces in every scene, and that's not always the case now.
Yeah, like I thought it like flowed well, and because my memory of like some of these movies is like, oh, it is kind of almost more similar to the shaky cam aesthetic, where it is just kind of so low res and handheld that it's almost just like a little nauseating.
A lot of them look like they were shot on the camera that I had at that time, and I had no money, so it was the cheapest camera on the market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me too. So it's, but yeah, this, I mean, 60 millimeter film, like, I thought it looked good. And I don't know, yeah, it's just like a charming little movie. It's 90 minutes, so you're in and out pretty quick.
Yeah. That's a trend that I wish would have stuck around.
Yeah. I gotta watch Marty Supreme, but where am I gonna find 3 hours, man?
Okay, that one is worth the 3 hours.
I gotta watch F1. Where am I gonna find the 3 hours?
I did like F1, but it is. I'm not going to pretend like F1 is great, but I am also not going to pretend like I had a bad time.
Cars go vroom, and it's
And
fun.
sometimes they go vroom so fast around the turns that it sounds like Chewbacca. And I really liked that.
That. Yeah, now I'm in.
Yeah.
I gotta check out F1 now. But yeah, I don't know. What are your, I guess, final thoughts on Funny Ha?
I really liked it. I thought I thought Marnie was charming. I thought she was great. I'm kind of sad that this was kind of it for her acting wise.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fun to see the Bishop Allen guys. And I mean, I really just like this director's work as far as I've seen. I haven't seen everything, but I've seen multiple, and I've enjoyed them all to some degree.
Hopefully Mitchell doesn't have any
Yeah,
future
he,
appearances in his movies.
I mean, he's in a couple of his other ones, but not nearly as abrasive and terrifying. So that's good news for the characters of those films. Yeah.
For humanity as a whole.
We'll cover one of his other movies, the last one we do. And again, Mitchell does not appear, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
good. Positive.
And I really
Looking
like that
forward
one.
to it.
So
Nice. I haven't seen it, so looking forward to it. Like, yeah, like the movies we're talking about, like I feel like, yeah, I've seen about half and haven't seen the other half. So it'll be exciting to kind of revisit some of those old ones and then discover new ones, especially some of the, right, like Barry Jenkins and the Safdies. I
I've
haven't
seen Daddy
those,
Longlegs,
so
which we're covering, and
that's
I really like that one. It is stressful.
nice.
It is,
Wouldn't be
Yeah.
a Safdie movie if it wasn't
It's funny.
stressful.
but boy, it's stressful. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time at the pictures. So tropes that this has that are common of mumblecore, perhaps we should talk about those. One thing that I think recurs a lot is romantic indecisiveness, which we get from Marnie throughout the film. And also, yeah,
And Alex.
well,
He's just
it seems like
all over the place.
he is pretty much decided, but wants to keep his options open just in case they don't work out. And is maybe
Yeah.
not handling it the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, as I'm thinking of other movies, it's like, oh yeah, there is always that, yeah, very complicated relationship or indecisive relationship dynamic. I think there's also the kind of burgeoning adulthood malaise or ennui. Like, I feel like a lot of these movies are like about like people and they're like trying to figure out how to be
Yeah.
adults.
They're all just out of college and entering the workforce for real, trying to figure out what they want to do in there, and just the terrifying nature of not knowing what your future is going to be. Something that most of us find
Yeah,
pretty
it's
relatable, I think. I certainly do.
Yeah, it's like the world is full of so many possibilities and they're all terrifying. And yeah, after I graduated, it was hard to find a job after graduation and I had to temp. So I was
Yeah,
living that
I
Marnie
sold
life.
printers and did stand up.
I think, yeah, just,
But it took a while to land on the stand-up
bad.
thing, or to hype myself up enough to do it, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the stuff, it's like the naturalistic dialogue, the kind of on location filming, just the very small casts, not a lot happening, just kind of people talking in rooms. I think those are all pretty
And
strong staples. Not any real nudity. There was, I guess, at the tattoo shop. There's like a boob picture
Well,
with
that's
tattoos
more
on it, but
an advertisement
besides
for
that.
what they're able to do at tattoo store.
yeah, it's not like
yeah.
a sexualized
Yeah, there's
thing.
a lot of filler words and phrases, like for instance, yeah,
Like
or I don't know, maybe, yeah, that sort of thing. Everybody looks like a normal human being. Like,
yeah, Rachel walked in when I was watching it. It's like everyone just looks like normal people. I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I like that. I was like, that's
Not
part of the
yeah.
charm. Seeing people that
these
look like
people
you on
look like
screen.
they used their gym membership once. Not a single one of them has had buccal fat reduction or fillers. Probably none of them have even heard of protein
Straight up
powder.
uggos.
So yeah, just normal salt of the earth people, which is great.
Normal uggos.
Has the spirit of, hey, we're just getting together to make a movie, and this is kind of for us. I like that sort of thing, which I really like. And then another trope is Bishop Allen is in it.
Bishop Allen. We'll see how strong that trope is, because we're not covering Nick and Nora, because that is not a mumblecore movie, but that is the only other movie I know that they're in.
Yeah. And they are definitely in that one.
They're definitely in it. But my notable Bishop Allen story was, I was, trying to get into cooler music, and I forget if I got into Bishop Allen before or after seeing Nick and Nora, but anyway, I went on a blind date with someone my friend met who's like, oh, she likes music and movies, she's cool, she's like perfect. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just remember her like scrolling through my iPod, like scrutinizing it, and I was like trying to direct her to Bishop Allen, because I'm like, this will make me seem cool, go to the Bishop Allen, they're cool. And I don't think she knew them, but the date did not go that well, because we went to go see Rock and Rolla at Movies 8.
Yeah,
and
that might have been where I saw it.
I think that's where most people saw it in Provo, because I don't know if it like played in the real theater.
Yeah.
But it was like, cold winter night and I went to the door to buy the tickets, and they asked both of us for IDs, and she didn't have our ID, and so they wouldn't sell the tickets to us. Which, in hindsight, like, I should have made it like really weird for the ticket seller, and just been like, I'm on a date with this girl, so if you're saying she can't go in because you can't prove she's a minor, so you're saying I'm going on a date with a minor? Like, I don't know. I mean, it would have just probably embarrassed her, but I don't know. It could have been funny.
Well, we're both really drunk right now, so that's how you know we're adults. So let us in.
We're adult. I just feel like never, like, I don't even know how, I could probably count the times on one hand I've been ID'd for a movie, and one of them was the first time I saw Jackass 3D, and there were kids trying to get into that.
So
they were right to do that.
Was that in Denver when we saw it together?
This was before.
Okay.
That was the second time when I saw it in Denver.
Yeah,
and Luke.
Yeah, and my brother, who was in a nearby
Max.
room. Yes.
And there was a fight that almost broke out at the screening when I went and saw it in Orem. Like, the authorities got called, and they didn't start the movie because people were yelling at each other. This is before the fun of Jackass 3D began, so it was a wild time.
I have had that happen at one movie, and I will give you $1 million if you can guess what movie had the police show up, have the movie stop, and have like we all got free tickets to that theater afterwards from the very apologetic staff. You will never guess.
Was it The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
No. Somehow Stranger.
Tell me.
Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh gosh,
I went to see it in Ohio. I was visiting my family for Christmas, and I don't remember why we landed on that one, because I'm pretty sure every single one of us was an adult. But we wound up there, and then this family came in with just like loose children, and the mom just said, sit wherever. And so there were like just two loose children sitting next to me and my sister. And then they were just kind of scattered around. And then the mom like got into a fight with somebody else, and I don't know why, but it was so disruptive that they stopped the movie, and the police had to escort the lady, and then all the loose children popped up from all their different spaces, and I'm talking like 6 to 8 kids scattered across the theater, like slowly filed out. And like then they played the second half of the movie, which was like another hour, and when we got out, I am pretty sure the police were still talking to that lady and her kids in the lobby. But we used those passes to go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or whatever that one was.
Much better than Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah, I remember what happened in that movie, and I cannot say the same for the Mary Poppins one, other than a fight broke out in the theater.
I mean, that is more memorable than that movie, so it's understandable.
I also feel like the kids all had like grocery store bags filled with candy that were rustling really loud, but I might be imagining that. But that seems right.
Wouldn't be shocking. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna, I guess, continue our quests, and next ep we're diving into the Duplass brothers and the puffy chair.
Yes. Before that, I do want to talk about one thing that I think is a goal of Mumblecore that I kind of feel is an unachievable goal, but a goal worth pursuing regardless. I think, like, to me, these movies, like, they never have elaborate plots or anything super far-fetched. I think they're trying to capture life as they know it as accurately as possible, just going for full authenticity. And I do think they get close. But I also personally feel that if you're telling a narrative story through film, there's always going to be enough of a perspective involved from whoever's making it that it's never going to quite be right. It is always going to be filtered through something.
Yeah.
Now, I do think it is possible to capture authenticity on film, but I think it's in strange places. I think you're more likely to find it in, like, local commercials from any era, because the goal there is completely different. They're just trying to sell mattresses or whatever, but they are wearing the clothes that they would wear in those commercials. So, like, you are getting a real person just like yelling at you about mattresses. And if they're trying to be funny, that's just like what a person that is not professionally paid to do funny things thinks might be funny to other people. And a lot of times it misses, but it's kind of charming in that miss. And then sometimes it's just so cringeworthy that it becomes funny in another way. Like in the 90s, you had a lot of commercials or training videos for places where Wayne's World was very popular. So somebody would be dressed like Wayne and trying to do the catchphrases, and it just does not hit. But that's what people were like in 1993. That is the most accurate picture you're going to get. It's almost like stepping into a time machine. Probably as close as we'll ever have to a time machine. I also wanted to relate this to one of this director's other movies that we're not covering, called Computer Chess, because I think he's going for authenticity in a different way in that one. That movie is about a computer chess tournament where they're having computers play against each other. and it's shot on an old analog video camera from the 70s. So the whole movie feels like a documentary from that time period made by just somebody attending that conference that's like maybe a tech nerd or something. Like down to the credits being typed on like Commodore 64 fonts and things like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and they dress right, and they cast a lot of non-actors, so a lot of the dialogue is awkward, but they're playing socially awkward people, so it actually kind of benefits the movie. And I think that gets really close, but I think you're still gonna get closer seeing like a home video of people playing chess or computer chess from that era. I think the only narrative movie that I've seen that's even, and I guess we'll have to see how it ages, that actually captures that sort of thing just by the nature of how they filmed it was Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Just because they actually are filming on the streets of Toronto, and most of those people do not know that they're in a movie. They just think a weird guy in a fedora and his handsome friend are doing very strange things with a whole lot of extension cord.
Yeah, it's like guerrilla style filmmaking where it's authentic because they're doing their own thing and no one is aware of it. But no, I really like your point about the mumblecore trying to capture the authenticity, because based on the ones I've seen, it's like that definitely seems
it's close. It's as close as
like a strong theme.
It's as close as you're gonna get in a narrative, but it's still filtered through editing and through however they choose to shoot the scene, etc. And I think it is worth pursuing, even if it's impossible, because I think it's worth capturing what real people are like, or as close to that as possible. Because, to quote, or to paraphrase a line of dialogue from Synecdoche, New York, a movie I'm very fond of, everyone is the main character in their own story. And, like, why not tell a normal person's story? Like, because
exactly, and that's,
it may not seem dramatic to you, but to them, while they're living it, it's fucking intense.
Yeah, exactly. And I think of just some of the Safdie movies I have seen where they just start having non-actors, just guys with interesting faces and vibes, and putting them in the movies, and always hearing their kind of behind-the-scenes stories of these weirdos that they pluck off the street is funny. It's like, these people don't know how to act appropriately, but we need them for the movie. And that's, part of mumblecore is just, like a lot of non-actors, and just trying for that verisimilitude of reality, and hard to capture, like you were saying, because there's just, there's always that perspective, that outside perspective.
And I think even it's worth pursuing, even if it's not super dramatic, because like if it's just something that most people have gone through, that builds connection. It makes people feel connected to something, and that is like, no one's ever been worse off by feeling more connected to humanity, I think. So I think it's a good thing, even if it's never 100% achievable.
Yeah, I think that's why something like This American Life was so popular for so long. It's like, these are just real people telling their stories.
Same time period.
It feels authentic and it feels connecting. Yeah, exactly.
And Ira Glass looks like every one of these filmmakers.
He didn't make a mumblecore movie, but he definitely could have.
He produced one.
And what?
Kind of. If you consider,
I wouldn't say it's mumblecore.
It's adjacent at the very least.
It's a
Sleepwalk with Me is close. It's not. It's an outlier.
Yeah.
It's on the outside.
It might be a little too polished for mumblecore.
It's on the outside. It's looking in. It can see you. It can see the real you. Your true color. I forgot how the chorus of that song goes. I was trying to.
I can see through you.
Yeah.
See in. There's the inside you're ugly. You're ugly like me.
Yeah, I was trying to speak your language a little bit with the Stained reference that I have. Stained was never my band, so I didn't quite get there.
I like Mud Shovel, and that's
That one I did like.
most of what I like from
Yeah.
them. That's a good one. But yeah, also in the words of Harvey Pekar, real life is pretty interesting stuff.
Yes, I do love Harvey Pekar.
Which may be a future series. We'll talk about Harvey Pekar.
I have been
but Mumblecore,
compared to him by
we
people I
love.
know probably more times than I would be comfortable with. It's a good thing I think that guy is cool.
One day he'll yell so much you lose your
Yeah.
voice and never
I
recover.
mean, I have worked as a file clerk, so,
You have.
and
yeah.
I have collected jazz records, so yeah. I guess I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah. We love
Yeah.
Harvey. Just Harvey Pekar. And yeah,
Harvey Pekar,
other Harveys you're thinking of, we don't like. Just
we
Pekar.
love the invisible rabbit that only drunk Jimmy Stewart could see also.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's a good
That's
Harvey.
it. No further Harveys.
We won't bring up the other
What?
Harveys. We won't bring up the main
Har-
Harvey you're thinking
Harvey
of.
Danger, they were a good band. And their singer shows
That's
up
true.
in Mumblecore movies, so I guess we will be talking about that one.
You're bringing it back. And now am I good to outro us?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I was premature, but I'm glad we took that journey
Yeah.
with you, Greg, because I thought that was a great point. So yeah, next week, The Puffy Chair, Duplass Brothers, 2005. This is like
This is the first one I saw.
this is like the moment.
It's the first one I saw because I had not seen this
Yeah.
one at all. So the Puffy Chair was my
I've never seen this
Yeah.
one.
Puffy Chair was my introduction to the genre, and yeah, I remember really liking it. I haven't seen it since then, so we'll see how it holds up over this coming week.
We will.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's about a puffy chair. I don't know much more.
Have you not seen it?
No,
Oh.
I haven't seen.
Oh,
this.
okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely a movie that came out in 2005. All right. Do you have anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, well, I'll just throw a quick thank you to Nicholas Don Smith for making our cover artwork. And I will thank you to Lumbermouth for our opening music and the production of this podcast. And I would also like to thank all of you that are still listening to this for continuing to listen to this. And we hope to have you hear us again next week.
And we hope you see us in your dreams.
Yes. Not Freddy Krueger
Not in a
style.
creepy
Yeah.
way.
More in the way of like we're there and we're at Burger King, but it's not a real Burger King because they have cake, and also I'm your mom too. That sort of dream.
Sounds
Yeah.
nice.
All right. On that note, we'll see
Peace.
y'all next week. All right, bye.